Hey gang, Diana here today. Welcome to the studio and a video on the color wheel. And I had a lot of requests for this, so I thought I'd quick get to it. And I have some information to share. And it's a good bit of information packed into this very simple tool. Now, let's start out with the basics. On this side of this color wheel, you'll see in the center here a gray triangle called Triad, and this is pointing in this case to red, yellow, and blue, which is your basic colors. Now if I turn it, it's still pointing to a triad: red, orange, yellow, green, and blue, violet. Or the second, you could also point it at the secondary colors: orange, green, and violet. Let's move on to complementary colors, which is indicated by this arrow here. Now this is a really strong, bold color combination. I'm going to move it to a combination we're all really familiar with from Christmas, which is red and green. Or it could be blue, where's the blue? Blue and, I'm going to turn this around, blue and orange. Very strong color combinations. So let's move on to the split complementary, and this happens to be one of my own personal favorites. This we have, in this case, orange. See, I want you to see this. What it does is take that complementary color, and instead of orange and blue in the complement, it's orange and blue violet and blue green. So it's just splitting the complement. Next is the Tetrad, and that's 4 colors that are 2 sets of complementary colors. So in this case, we have red violet, yellow orange, yellow green, and blue violet. All of these will be really great palettes for you. On this side of the color wheel, we have a tint, which is, in this case, let's return it to red so it's a little clearer. Red, local color. Then we have added white to it. This is what happens when you add white. You get pink. We can tone it down with gray. Gray means that you're toning it down, and shade it with black. So if you add white, you'll get a tint. If you add gray, you'll get a tone. If you add black, you'll get a shade. Let's turn this over now and have a look here. Okay, this is a really helpful side too. First of all, you have all your values, all your grayscale here. And there's 10 of them too, which is standard. So if you mix black and white, how many values can you get? With watercolor, we add water to the paint to get these values. Another super helpful thing to know is analogous color. What that means is, if you're using blue and you want a quiet color scheme that isn't going to make any mud or gray accidentally, you'll stick with, say, blue, blue-violet, violet, red-violet, and red. So what you want to do is go completely through between those two primaries. You might want to leave out the red, because sometimes with reds you might have in your paint, it might be a red-orange. And since we know that blue and orange are complements, we know that they cancel each other out and create a brown, or if you're lucky, a gray. So you want to stay away from any red-orange, and you might want to reel back until you're really familiar with the color reds that you have. On this side too, you can see the primaries: blue, red, yellow. It's the secondaries: green, violet, orange, and the tertiaries. Okay, that's the colors that occur in between the primaries and the secondaries, in this case blue and violet. This is a lot of information to take in. So and if you have a color wheel on you, you might want to follow along with that. The warm colors are these colors right here. I will link over on my blog. There's a very interesting history of the color wheel. But these are warm colors, or colors that pop out at you in an art work. And then these are the more cool colors that are a little bit recessive. So if you want, I tell you, if you want something to pop out on a piece of art, that's your baby right there, yellow. That's one of my, it might be my favorite color just for how amazing it reacts. This side of the color wheel also gives you all of your mixing colors. So if you add yellow to green, you'll get this yellow-green, which is a tertiary color. And if you add blue to it, you'll get this beautiful tealy blue. Adding white to it will give you this tinted color, which is like a mint color. And then finally adding black will give you a shade. But I wanted to tell you too that most of this information is right on the color wheel. It's just a little hard to decipher if you're not familiar, and I hope this video will help you with that. This value determines the lightness or darkness of a color, and if you look down here at this grayscale, that's the values. So let's just squint our eyes and look at the value of yellow. This is why yellow is so important to me. It's somewhere, I'd say somewhere in there. Okay, it's a value 8 or 9. It's a very light value. So now let's look over here at blue. Okay, where did it go? Blue, I would say, is a much darker value. It might be a 5 or a 6. So you need a lot more yellow than blue to make green in an actual painting. You're going to use up yellow a lot quicker than anything else. Let's take a look at red, because it's the same deal with red. It's a darker value. It's not as dark as blue, but it's still a darker value. And if you can take a picture of a color wheel, for instance, and put it into your editing program of photo editing program and look and change it to black and white, you'll see these three different values. Let's flip over to this side again, I wanted to talk just a little bit more about harmonious color schemes, and that again is the monochromatic color schemes. And this color scheme comes when you add white, gray, and black. So when you tint it with white, you tone it with gray, and you shade it with black. And you've got a nice monochromatic color scheme. And I'm thinking that would be a really fun thing for you to try to do as an exercise. Go through these and just, I mean, look what happens to the yellow-orange when you add black to it. I was playing around with my paint samples, or my dyeing samples here, and you can see in my hand I'm holding a red, yellow, blue Triad, and I'm talking away about who knows what. But it's very fun to use your color wheel in a tandem with any paint samples you have, or maybe even a postcard or a color inspiration piece that you're using, and pick apart the colors and look carefully at them. I do intend to come back and be using this color wheel more when I'm doing videos on cards and art journal pages and watercolor paintings. So keep an eye peeled for that. We'll put this information that I laid out into practice. And I hope that this video was helpful. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments below. There was a lot of noise in the video. I'm sorry about that. I tried to delete it, but I had my little heater running, and that just creates a background noise. So don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more videos from me. If you're new to my channel, I make a lot of watercolor videos, art journal videos, and I'm now doing card videos as well, and there's always going to be something different in there. I share things from my design team projects with Faber-Castell as well. So check out my blog for more information on the color wheel, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks so much for spending a little bit of your day with me. Bye now.